Hello, welcome to the Psalming Effect. This is John Smith in the week of June 28th, 2021, and I want to share with you today a meditation from Psalm 131, and I hope this is an encouragement to you today and throughout this week. This psalm brings back a wonderful memory for me. As a young father with a firstborn son, my son was about 12 days old, just a young infant, and we took him everywhere. From the day we got him home from the hospital, he went everywhere with us. And one of the first things we did, and like I said, he was about 12 days old, maybe 14, 2 weeks old. We took him to a banquet, a graduation banquet. It was for a group of people, immigrants who had come to Canada from various countries, and they were celebrating their graduation from their English as a second language training. And so it was a very noisy environment. The clanging of plates and dishes and silverware and people talking and having conversation all over the room. It was very loud. And then it got even worse when the meal was over and they started banging and clanging as they folded up the tables and put them aside and stacked up the chairs and pushed them to the walls and cleared a space on the floor. They cranked up some lively and loud music and started to have a dance, which the people joined in with vigor. And enthusiasm, really enjoyed themselves. And people kept coming by and wanting to hold and did hold our son, and he was all wrapped up in a warm blanket, content as could be. He had been fed. He was in dry clothes, and he was actually sleeping on and off while all of this was going on. How could he be so oblivious to the noise that was going on around him? Not only that, he was completely unaware of really what the environment and the people were about. I don't even know if he saw the people, but he certainly didn't know anything about them and the troubles and the challenges that they were dealing with and the hurdles that they had crossed. They were of no concern to him. He had no way of even grasping any of that. All that mattered to him was his hunger satisfied? Was he comfortable and peaceful to rest? Was he being held lovingly and gently? And did he feel secure in the arms of his parents and the people around him? That's really all he cared about. And but it was just amazing, that we could take him into that environment and have him there with us, and him just be as content as can be. And here's what this psalm says. It's just a very short psalm, but it paints the picture that brings back this memory for me. O Lord, my heart is not lifted up, my eyes are not raised too high. I do not occupy myself with things too great and too marvelous for me, but I have calmed and quieted my soul like a weaned child with its mother. My soul is like the weaned child that is with me. O Israel, hope in the Lord from this time on and forevermore. That's Psalm 131. It's just 3 verses long. But you can see that's the picture David is painting for us, is the peaceful, serene nature of a child that has been fed and is satisfied and secure in its mother's arms. And David is using that picture to talk about the peace and contentment that he is feeling. He's not occupying himself with things that are too big for him. I suffer from a little bit of a combination of idealism and Mr. Fixism. You know, I see a problem going on in the world, and I want to fix it. You know, there's racial troubles, there's poverty and world hunger, there's political division, there's social unrest, there's some kind of strife going on a large scale and I have an idealism in me that thinks I know what, if people would just believe this, if people would just understand this, if we could just get enough folks committed to some ideals, we could fix this problem. And I think it's okay to have people who are visionaries, who try to find solutions to those things and try to lead us to a better place. But from day to day, we need to focus on what's right in front of us, responsibilities and opportunities that are right before our eyes, people that are sitting right next to us or right across the table from us, needs that we need to address and that we can do something about, and that it is our responsibility to do something about. Sometimes I can get so focused on things that are bigger than me and really beyond me that I get distracted from the things that I really should be looking after. And when that happens, then I'm not very content. Then I'm troubled. I'm worried. I'm scrambling. I'm busy. I'm bothered by what's going on in the news and what's going on in the world and what's going on in my community or in my nation. And but you know, when I'm focused, like Jesus prayed. Remember how Jesus prayed, give us this day our daily bread. I don't need to be worried about too much more than that. Yes, pray for thy kingdom come and thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. But it's not my will, it's not my responsibility or even within my power to make God's kingdom happen, and and for all of his will to be fulfilled. My responsibility is what lies in front of me today. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. That's what I can do something about. And that's what I need to make sure I look after. And when I do that, I will have, as the scriptures talk about, the peace that passes all understanding. Even in a world that's troubled. Kind of like the child in the arms of his father who can rest contentedly in the midst of noise and turmoil and excitement. Because he has focused on what he really needs to focus on and is not even thinking about things that are beyond him. That's a good reminder for everyone, I think. Return to that psalm many times. Again, it's not to excuse you from contributing what you can and what you should to the solutions to big problems. But it's just to understand that it's not your responsibility to fix everything. And that idealism is good, but practicality, responsibility, contentment, and focus on what's important is best. And that's what David is trying to teach us and what he is often a good example of. So continue to explore this psalm throughout the week, and maybe go back and read some of the story of David in the books of Samuel and those histories and see how he demonstrates this. because we need to live that way. And because, again, in 21, He is still the one.